I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, August the 3rd, 2016. Israel's Ministry of Defense is in the process of expediting the construction of a concrete barrier around Gaza in order to combat the threat of terror tunnels. The barrier would be built several stories below ground and be equipped with sensors to detect any possible digging of new tunnels by terror group Hamas. 20 different Israeli contracting companies will bid on the construction project, which will begin in October. The barrier will initially go around about 6 miles of the Gaza Strip, with plans to extend around the entire area. Terror group Hamas, who rules Gaza, builds tunnels from the Strip, reaching into Israel in order to carry out attacks against Israeli civilians and soldiers. Israel's government press office is looking into allegations that an Italian news agency and journalist worked together with terror group Hezbollah and tricked several Israeli officials, including former generals and ministers and an IDF soldier, into giving interviews on how Hezbollah kidnapped and murdered 2 Israeli soldiers, which began the Second Lebanon War, for the purpose of a propaganda video for the Lebanese terror group. The GPO may take measures against the ANSA agency and journalist Michaela Moni for allegedly working with Hezbollah and using the footage for a documentary on the war used by the terror group for propaganda. Moni apparently told the interviewees that the program would air on BBC and Italian television, not on the terror group affiliated station. The reporter now claims that he too was misled. Head of the government press office, Nitzan Chen, called the incident a severe situation which borders on fraud and misrepresentation. Chen said it goes against professional journalistic standards. In a continued effort to integrate the ultra-orthodox into Israeli society, the IDF announced that it will open a special ultra-orthodox paratrooper platoon in the IDF. There already are such platoons existing within the prestigious combat units of the Kfir and Givati brigades, and now the special paratrooper unit will begin its campaign to draft the ultra-orthodox beginning next month. Haaretz reports that Israel's Air Force will take part in a large-scale military exercise alongside the United States later this month. Israel will land air crews as well as F-16 jets at Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada. Haaretz report also cites that other media reports said the training exercise would also include pilots from Pakistan and the United Arab Emirates, both of whom do not have relations with Israel. Those reports have not been confirmed. The exercise in Nevada is part of Red Flag, a 4-part series of such drills. According to the U.S. Air Force, this final one for the year is to be conducted from August the 15th through the 26th. Last year, Israeli pilots took part in the Red Flag exercise as well. That was the first time in doing so in 6 years. The World Jewish Congress will mark its 80th anniversary next week. The body was formally established in August of 1936 when an assembly of 230 elected representatives from Jewish communities in 32 countries gathered in Geneva from August the 8th through the 15th, with the goal of defending Jewish rights, uniting against the threat of Nazi Germany, and to mobilize for the establishment of a Jewish state. World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder said of the upcoming milestone that vigilance and bold steps were as necessary today as they were in 1936 to defend Jews and Jewish community life. Lauder said today the world's attitude towards Jews may still be hostile, but 2 things have certainly changed. Firstly, he said, we have changed. The era of the quiet Jew, the timid Jew, the ghetto Jew is long over. The second major difference that Lauder noted was the existence of the State of Israel. He said the World Jewish Congress works to defend Israel and its people in the international arena, and we hope to contribute to achieving peace and stability in the Middle East. The Israeli resort city of Eilat is gearing up for its annual jazz event. The Red Sea Jazz Festival marks its 30th edition this year. The 4-day international program includes a performance by American jazz and fusion pianist Chick Corea, playing with members of his trio, American drummer Marcus Gilmore, who is the grandson of iconic jazz drummer Roy Haynes, and Israeli bass player Avishai Cohen. And taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, August the 3rd. At 8:30, remembering Kristallnacht. At 9 o'clock, Mark Golub sits down with Dr. Naomi Vilko, who talks about being the child of Holocaust survivors on L'chaim. And at 10, Bar-Ilan University professor Mordechai Kedar talks about radical Islam and anti-Semitism. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's Thinking Out Loud with Micah Halpern. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, August the 3rd, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.